They are managing the world between narcissism and spiritual ignorance. When ignorance reaches the point of stupidity, and is compounded by spiritual sickness and excessive narcissism, it is no longer merely an individual failing, but rather a dangerous condition deserving of condemnation in itself. Such a person, whose ego swells to the point of deluding themselves into thinking they can control the world according to their whims, or deliberately pushing it toward chaos believing it to be the best path, reveals a profound inability to understand both human nature and the nature of the world. At this precise point, the person with this delusion does not hesitate to come out into the open, declaring, explicitly or implicitly, his right to lead the world, considering himself the necessary exception, the awaited savior, or the only mind capable of correcting the course. This is not about an isolated individual, but rather a recurring pattern throughout history. However, this pattern is often embodied in a person who surpasses others in their pathological ambition, false confidence, and arrogance, to the point of believing that they are the only one qualified to manage the destiny of humankind. Pattern before name. To understand this phenomenon without resorting to emotionalism or defamation, it must be viewed as a recurring psychological political spiritual pattern that has appeared in different eras, and which can be summarized in four main features. Excessive narcissism that borders on the delusion of being chosen. Claiming to possess the absolute truth and demonizing those who disagree. Exploiting religion or ideology to justify control. They are delusional about being able to subdue or forcibly reshape the world. This pattern does not see the world as it is, but as he wants it is to be, and any difference is considered a threat to be eliminated, not a phenomenon to be understood. History lessons. History is full of clear examples of figures who possessed these traits, and all ended up with the same fate. Adolf Hitler believed he was chosen to reshape and purify the world, based on a quasi-religious ideology of superiority and chosenness. In his later years, Napoleon Bonaparte not only led armies, but also imagined that Europe should be run according to his vision alone. Joseph Stalin saw himself as the representative of absolute historical truth, and anyone who disagreed with him became an enemy of the people. Pol Pot provided a stark example of ideological stupidity when he tried to forcibly re-engineer man and society. In the religious context, the Kharijites formed an early model of monopolizing the truth, claiming to represent the divine will, and declaring those who disagreed as infidels. These names, despite the differences in times and contexts, share the same mental structure, the illusion of total control, and the belief that the world is waiting for someone to reshape it. The world is too complex to be managed. This illusion reaches its peak when one believes the world can be subjected to a theory, a force, armies, or a plan, no matter how complex, or even if formulated by the greatest experts who delve into the most intricate philosophies and the broadest historical readings. All such attempts share one fate: failure. The world, by its very nature, is not governed by the will of an individual, nor can it be reduced to a single mind, nor is it subject to absolute control. It is a complex web of balances, contradictions, and human experiences that cannot be coerced without exploding in the face of those who attempt to subdue them. From a spiritual perspective, the belief in the possibility of complete world domination is not merely political naivete, but an existential transgression. The Creator, who revealed himself through prophets and scriptures as the creator and sustainer of the universe, could not possibly entrust the management of this world to a weak, limited, and capricious creature. Those who ignore this truth reveal a profound ignorance, not only political, but also spiritual and existential. What about the present? Without needing to mention contemporary names, one fact can be stated with certainty. Anyone who believes that the world can be run by the mindset of one man, a closed elite, or a backroom, is a permanent candidate for reproducing the same tragedy, no matter how different the tools and technologies become. A summary. This article does not attack individuals, but rather exposes an old misconception. They believe that when a person possesses power, money, and technology, he becomes a little god. This illusion doesn't suddenly collapse. Rather, it gradually brings down its owner. Then history coldly records his name. And he moves on to something else.